Hi, and welcome to this introduction about why more and bigger is not always better for an entrepreneur. Focus on the core usually leads to more and more sustainable success. Recently, I met an entrepreneur and he told me that he was not able to give a good direction to his company and instruct his employees in the right way. And he had also difficulties to hire the right employees. The sales was not bad, but there was some distress within the company. And also the acquisition was not that bad, but it was better before. With about 70 employees, he helps very big companies with very complex ICT issues. He spent half an hour explaining me why his customers were so happy and what kind of different services he offered. But think about this. When you need half an hour to explain what you do, I think you have a problem then. Unfortunately, it had nothing to do with his pitching skills, because those were great. But he just offered so many services. And then again, you could say, in this very complex ICT landscape, there's a demand for different kind of expertises. But when you offer almost everything, how can your customer know, or your potential customer know, what you're really good at? When I looked at his site, it was more expertises than he had employees. Did you ever had that you went to a bakery and you saw 150 kind of breads and you just couldn't choose anymore? That's the feeling he gave to his customers. He wanted to show off by being bigger than he really was. Nobody would believe that he could really offer all those kind of expertises. So he cut himself in the foot. Another example is a very successful beautician. She worked with a few employees and all her customers are happy. Why? Because she does her marketing excellent. She really targets the right people and she focuses on her business day in, day out. But now she had a new plan. Why? She saw a restaurant that she could take over for a very soft price. And she had a very clear idea about it. Because in this restaurant, there would be a yoga studio, there would be a nail studio, there would be, of course, her own beauty salon, there would be a wine expert who was offering different kind of wines, and the restaurant would be run by two friends of her. All these people would be independent entrepreneurs, and everybody would benefit from each other because they would send customers to each other. And she would take care of the business models and the marketing. And that was the key to success, according to her. But like I told you, her current success is because of devotion and dedication to her business. She became big and so famous because she is so extremely well doing her job. She knows exactly the right pricing, like I said, exactly target the right audience, but she's also very busy with it. Because you can imagine you have to do the planning and the purchase. And now she thinks that by working with different kind of entrepreneurs, she can also manage that. But working with more people also creates more daily issues. Maybe two entrepreneurs don't like each other. Maybe they have some liquidity problems or other kind of problems can occur. And then she must be busy with that. And she doesn't have to focus on her own business anymore. Growing bigger isn't always better because it was the focus on her own company that brought her success. And actually by growing bigger in this way, she creates another problem. Because how do you position yourself? Are you a salon, a beauty salon? Are you a yoga studio? Are you a restaurant? What are you? It's very hard to communicate that and to target the right audience. Focus brings success. Think about Starbucks. Starbucks who only sells coffee. Or Apple with a very limited range of products and services. And even a company like Samsung. It took them decades to widen their assortment. Also Microsoft started with a focus and only after decades expanded their assortment. Focus brings success. And it's already hard enough to do what you do very well. And when you do it well, try to get better at it. That is the key to success. Be you, be focused, and keep on learning.